this PC has been booting for some time now. So after some time, it's going to bring up a BSOD, that is driver underscore PNP underscore watchdog. So it's after giving that, the PC will restart, and it's going to be in a loop that way. So I'm going to, tell you how to fix this kind of problem. So this is how it started. Yeah. So with its own SSD, the SSD has been changed to another one, and I tried to install OS on the SSD, but it doesn't proceed. It keep bringing up that error. But after this logo, after it loads for a long time, yes, so it will not proceed for me to install the OS, right? So it will bring the error, that is driver underscore PNP underscore watchdog. Okay. So I devised a means. I use Sagistrelec in order to install the OS, right? So the OS, it completed. Now on restarting, it got stuck at this place and it continued that way. So in summary, what was the cause of this problem? The cause of this problem was the touch. Yes, the touch, although the part of the screen is broken. So it was the touch that affected it. So I disabled the touch and it was fine. And it has been, rolling for a long time. It's over 5 minutes or thereabouts now. Maybe it's over 3 minutes or thereabouts. So it keeps rolling. All right. So I wanted to bring out the error. Yeah. So if you are faced with this kind of a problem, before you do anything, just have to open the PC and you disconnect all the peripheral devices. You can start with just disable all the peripheral devices. Disable you can even remove the Wi-Fi card, remove the keyboard. You can even remove the backlight. You just disconnect everything, leaving the SSD on the PC. Yeah, and try to see if the problem, maybe is going to stop bringing up the error. But if the error passes, that means all the things that have been disconnected are not to be blamed. Yes, they are not the culprits. So next thing is to just check the SSD. Try with another one. But if it's NVMe, I've noticed with NVMe, you just have to restore the OS. But if it is like NGFF, like this SATA SSD, yeah, it can boot directly. So if you install another SSD that is NVMe, you just restore the OS and see if it will restore successfully. So if it restores successfully, then you know that, okay, the problem now is either the OS is corrupted, or there's something that is wrong with the OS, or the SSD is bad. Yeah. But after changing the SSD and it persists, you know that, wow, the problem will come from the PC itself, that is the motherboard, and try to, figure out what could be responsible. But before going to the SSD, you just have to check the BIOS setup and see if there are settings that you need to do in the BIOS in order to stop the error, right? Yeah. You see that it continues to roll, but it has not brought the error. Yeah, it has not brought the error. Let me turn it off. I'm turning it off now. Good. So let me try to do this. Let me try to boot from Flash. All right. So I'm turning on the PC, and this is HP. I'm looking for F9 button. All right. Yeah. Some disk. Good. Oops. So that means I need to change the settings. I need to go to BIOS, because this PC is in secure boot. So, and the booting that I made on the flash, I didn't activate the secure boot. So I have to disable the secure boot before this flash can work on this PC. Yeah, next is F9. All right, 42 4208, enter. All right, next is, see, it will not bring the error again. Good. So next is for me to go to, yeah, let me install this Windows 11 blah blah business edition, put in normal mode. All right, so look at this. Definitely this is going to bring the BSOD. All right, so this is me trying to boot from Flash, right? All right. So let's assume I want to install OS on the SSD on this PC, right? Okay. So I was stuck on this for a long time before I could discover that it was actually the touch that had problem, right? That was disturbing it. So this is going to roll for a long time and it's going to trigger the watchdog. So that this is what it means. The error is driver underscore PNP underscore watchdog. All right. Driver, that is, what driver means. Driver is, take for example, there are hardware on this PC. For the hardware to come to life, it needs driver. Take for example, this touch, like this PC is a touch screen. For the touch screen to be working, it requires a driver, right? Without it, no way. It can't work. Or sometimes maybe it will work, but it's going to give it basic stuff. Yeah, like basic touch feature. For you to have the full functionality, it needs to be driven. Yeah, although I've not experienced touch, but it requires a driver for it to work. Yeah, and it can be disabled. That is number one. Number two is, the screen itself. Yeah, the screen itself, it requires a driver. Without a driver, it's going to give a basic display. Take, for example, if this screen is full HD, without a driver, it will only give basic display. And with it, you can't adjust the brightness. It's going to remain at full. You can't reduce the brightness. And if you want to play something that requires high graphic stuff, maybe you want to play a 2K video, it's going to be skipping because the driver of the display has not been installed. All right. The same thing goes to maybe like Wi-Fi card. There are some that PC requires the Wi-Fi card driver before the Wi-Fi can work. So in summary, driver brings hardware to life, right? So that is for driver. Driver is it's a software that activates hardware that's on the PC. PNP means plug and play. So what that BSOD is telling is that there's a device that you can plug and unplug that has problem that triggers the watchdog to stop the PC. So what the watchdog simply means a kind of a police, right? A kind of a police that monitors the PC. That is watchdog. So if there's hardware that gives a problem, the watchdog is going to trigger BSOD in order to stop the PC, so that it will not continue and wreak irreversible havoc on a PC. Take for example, if the oil has dried up, so there's something in the generator that will stop the generator from working, so that it will not knock. So the same thing applies to the watchdog. The watchdog monitors the PC, and if there's a problem, it's going to stop the PC and give the error, telling what caused that error. So that's just a simple explanation of the driver underscore PNP underscore watchdog, right? So this, you see, this continues to roll. It will get to a point that it will trigger the BSOD. All right, beautiful. So you see, driver underscore PNP underscore watchdog. Yeah, this is the error. So after some time, it will restart. Exactly. Exactly. So it has gone off. All right. That is it. Okay. So let me retain this flash. So I will retain this flash, right? So next I will do is let me unplug the battery. Next is for me. Here is the touch DB cable. Okay. So disconnect. So let's see what will happen. You are going to see difference. Notice that as I boot through flash. It didn't. It just stuck at that booting logo, like loading logo. All right. So turn on. Is the battery flat? It applies the battery is flat, but how could the battery be flat suddenly? So, all right. So the PC is blocked. I'm going to turn it on now. And all right. So remember, this has been disconnected. So I'm going to turn on the PC. It's on, then F9. All right. It has seen it. There's F9. All right. Okay. This. Now, see difference now. The touch has been disconnected, right? Let's see what will happen. Remember, it stayed here for a long time. You see difference immediately. Yeah, immediately. Yeah, install now. So immediate, it was immediate. Compared with before that, it was like that for a very long time until it brought the BSOD. That is driver underscore PNP underscore watchdog. Okay, Windows 10 Pro, this is me. Now everything is working fine, right? All right, I'll just select the partition and voila. But now I'm not going to repeat the process of installing. So I'll just unplug this flash. You can see that it boots already and it was quick. All right. So let me quit this so that the PC will restart because there's OS on the SSD already. All right, because constant turning on and off brought this. Hmm. You see, and that is it. Yeah, that is it. So now here's the desktop area. So it's as simple as that. So in recap, why it brought the driver underscore PNP underscore watchdog was because of the touch. So the touch is faulty. So it was the touch that caused the problem. So why yours might not be touched, it might be something else. But it is good, as I've explained, it is good that you make sure that you remove everything that is plugged to the motherboard. Is it the keyboard? If it has backlight, if there is Wi-Fi card, you make sure that you remove everything only while leaving the storage device. It now depends if you're using SSD or you are using a disk drive. So you left that. But if it repeat the same thing, you try remove the storage device and use another one. Install always another one and see if the problem persists or the problem doesn't persist. So if the problem doesn't persist, know that the problem is tied to the storage device. Now depends if the storage device is faulty or the OS is corrupted. So you can now return the former storage device and restore the OS. Yeah. So if you restore the OS and the problem stopped, that means the problem comes from corrupted operating system. So that is it. It's as easy as that. But the first step is before you do anything, just make sure that you remove all the peripheral devices like the Wi-Fi card, the keyboard, and everything. Just remove it all. Yeah. So with that, by doing that, you are, doing troubleshooting. You are troubleshooting what the problem might be. Yeah. So as easy as that. So the problem on this, what causes this was because of the touch. So that means this touch has to be replaced. Yeah. So that is it. So as it is now, the touch has been disabled. This right here. All right. So that is it.